I've been putting off taking this speech class since my freshman year of college. Now it's my senior year, and this is one of the last classes that I'm required to take. I wasn't quite sure what to expect from an online speech class, or if it would really help me improve my public speaking skills. However, I found that I really enjoyed the challenge of writing the speeches, and that it did help improve my public speaking confidence. I had 3 main expectations coming into this class, and from all the research that I got to conduct for the speeches, I learned a lot more about some topics that I was already interested in. When I told my friends that I was taking an online speech class, they would all give me the same funny look and ask me, "How are you going to do that?" I would simply explain it to them and say, "It's simple. All I'm going to have to do is record my speeches through a webcam and then email in my assignments." I would secretly be thinking to myself that I hoped it was going to be this simple. My first expectation was that online speeches would be easier, but I've quickly found out that talking to a webcam is just as challenging as talking to a group of your peers. My second expectation was that it wouldn't take me a lot of time to construct the speeches, but with all the memorization and all the research it took for each speech, it took me a lot more time than I expected. One of my last expectations was that it would be easy to actually record the speeches. This was not true either. It took me a lot of time to decide if I liked the lighting, if I liked the angle, if you could hear me right, and if I had an audience, if they would be in the picture, and if I liked how they were in the picture. In reality, all of my expectations were misconceptions based on the fact that this was an online class. But I put forth just as much effort in this class in memorization and research as I would in any other class. It was not easier, and it took me just as much time. As I mentioned earlier, I had a lot of research for most of my speeches, and I learned something new from each speech that I did. From the definition speech, I defined Asperger's and mental retardation. I learned the difference between these two things and how they are very, very different. From my job interview speech, I learned a lot about my personal job interview skills and where I need to improve and where I do pretty well. My demonstration speech, I learned how to effectively communicate with my audience and how to break things down so that it came across easily to the audience. One of the most important things I learned is how important research is. You have to have research to back up your facts that you're talking about. And also how that the best speech is an organized speech. If you don't construct it with an organized fashion, it can become very hard to communicate to your audience. I learned a lot of things in this class that I'll take throughout the rest of my life, and it was definitely an investment in my career for the future. Thank you.